Hey, welcome back to Forget Me Not Sailing. This video is showing some of our time in Bimini Island, our intro into sailing into the Bahamas. And so we came in on the west side of the island for immigration, and now we're cutting through the north and south sections of the island so we can have some safe anchorage up here while a little storm rips through before we go north to Grand Bahama Island. And so the passage through was pretty easy, low-key, beautiful, blue water that was just mesmerizing. And so we creeped our way on back for that anchorage to have a chill night and explore a little bit of town, and got some great conch salad and explored some of the cute little buildings and museums. And then we took the dinghy across to the northeast side of the island where there was a huge mangrove forest that had some interweaving channels in it, and it was really beautiful. And so we enjoyed sunset there while we just regrouped and got ready for the weather that was gonna roll on in. We're both novice, and so when we think of storms and weather coming in, this was something that felt significant to us, and so we were just getting ready. So it was the calm before the storm, always the weather picking up over the evening into the morning, and so not a restful night. And so it actually ended up being not too bad until the morning time, but in the morning we did drag anchor. We dragged back by that amount of hole, and so we had to go ahead and pull up kind of into the channel and set anchor there and reset for a little bit while we continued to both work and study. And then later that evening, we dragged again. And this time we got farther back into that catamaran on our left there. And then our monohull buddy was also dragging. And so make what you will of this, our drag anchor. It was a little chaotic, but finally it calmed down and we got to have a really chill evening where we got to even see a green sea turtle come into the anchorage, and we got to explore town a little bit more and thus sit on the throne of life dictating to the human race. Alex and I both really enjoyed that phrase, that poem, and so we kind of took different meanings from it, and hopefully you will too. And so we got to enjoy the rest of that evening exploring the island and watching a really beautiful sunset. And then we just kind of got ready to mosey on back onto the west side and north, getting ready for our crossing over to Grand Bahama. So parking ourselves kind of outside of where the cruise ship dock would be. And so our last evening was beautiful. And then we moved on west to these 3 rocks that were kind of north of the cruise ship dock, so we could set anchor and do a little diving and hopefully get something for us for dinner. And so Alex and I in the morning dinghied on over and swam out and started exploring. And so we got out into the water, saw a bunch of different fish, lots of diversity in the water. Saw some beautiful big soft coral and cute little puffer fish, which I tried to get some good footage of while trying not to fully harass it. Sometimes there's a fine line, so enjoy a little shot as this beautiful puffer swims away. And then we found a nice little swim through in the rock, and so we played in there for a little bit. Alex spotted some pretty big spiny lobsters, and so we went back and got the pole spear and started to try to get down there and hopefully get some lobster dinner. And so the next minute here or so is of Alex diving down underneath the limestone rocks here looking for some lobster. And ultimately, when we were together, we didn't actually get lobster, so we swam back to the dinghy because I had to go work And we were sailing later that day, so we had some stuff to get done. So fail this time, but when I was in work, Alex sent me a photo, so he went back and actually got 2 beautiful lobsters. So while we were underneath the lunar eclipse at night sailing, we got to consume 2 very, very large lobster tails, and it was quite a treat. And so we didn't really get a great shot of the lunar eclipse. Blame it on the Android, blame it on ourselves, but it was a beautiful lunar eclipse and a beautiful sunrise, and the passage was very low key. We had 1 to 2 foot waves, barely any wind, and so we motored almost the whole entire way from Bimini to Freeport, and we were both really kind of surprised with how quickly it took us. And so we had a nice low-key sunrise and beautiful breakfast, and Alex and Kai did the dishes off the back of the boat as we rolled on into Freeport with the whole day ahead of us. And so now I just want to recap, as you watch these beautiful mangroves, some of the things we found that we'd like to share while we were on Bimini Island. So food-wise, we didn't eat at a lot of places, but we ate at Eppie's, and the conch salad and fritters were so delicious. And then workspace-wise, I worked at the Hilton Resort World, and if you sign in with your email, you get access to their Wi-Fi, and they've got a couple different kind of workspaces. So if you made it to the end of this video, thanks for keeping up with us, and we look forward to sharing our next section of our journey with you. Bye.